I'm Chad Atkinson, and this is the Haunted Dollhouse. Continuing on with the build from the last episode, basically what I was doing, I was just adding these banisters with a bit of balsa wood, and then some, blocking out the windows with some, like spare, 2x4 or some plank plywood or something like that. So that just gives a little bit of that abandoned sort of house feel. This is just the build right now. We're just gonna add to this dollhouse and try to give a little bit of realism to everything. Now I could either take like automotive bog or some sort of spackling and actually cover these, but I'm just gonna take some of this balsa wood strips that I got from Bunnings, and this actually fits darn perfect right inside this slot. I'm just gonna get all these areas that are covered, and then we'll get closer to actually painting this thing. So there are some areas that I'll probably double back on, maybe pull something up, but at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead, start cutting this stuff up. Let's go with the long bit here. So I'm gonna use my bearded pineapple tape measure, and it's 35.5 centimeters for this long bit. We'll start with that one. Use a pencil, and then actually, this stuff's so soft that you can just basically just put a little bit of pressure on and draw through. Just like that. And then that piece should fit like so. And it fits with all this cladding here too, so. We'll just do that just to cover up those holes. Just like that. So bang, that's on there. That's pretty much permanent now. And I'll continue on. I think I got enough here. Ooh, look at that. That is absolutely perfect for that top strip. I think I want to do a gutter here as well, so this will be a nice bit of detail. Scribe right there. Cut that off. And keep motoring. This particular accelerator you can get from hobby shops. Just a few little spritzes on it. You don't want to be breathing it, so try not to be get the stuff too much in the air to breathe. And then again, putting that up there, all that detail. Starts finishing it off. Let's see, what's sticking out? What's left? Oh, I can use these smaller bits for back here. Especially up high. Yeah, go for that. So I can probably use these little ones that are left here and just kind of piece it in. And that'll be okay, because they're gonna be up high, and I'll probably have some gutters to disguise that stuff anyway. But for the longer bits, like there's one left here, I'll do. Yeah, all the long bits are pretty much done. That's looking pretty cool. A little bit of trim going on. Let's see if I can eyeball that here. Probably not. Where's my tape measure? That looks to be 31.5. With my bearded pineapple tape measure. And a half. Close enough. That'll work. Spritz, 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 just to make sure it goes off quickly. Now just pop it in. Oop, that's a little bit of tension on that one. Oh. And it's in there now. You go nowhere. This is pre-drinking straw band that I had all these. So I can they're kind of in scale, so I might be able to use them. So what I can kind of do is just even these, the bendy bits are really great for the actual downspout part, you know, the little, where it gets it away from the house. So that's an option. Actually, it kind of works around corners and things. But I want to take off the top, so I'll see how I can maybe utilize these. I think they'll be good for downspouts, but probably not the gutters. Back to this. I'm making a door. And basically what I was thinking about with this is whether I was going to replicate one of these doors or if it was gonna be boarded up. And I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the boarded up look. And I picked up some more balsa, and it comes in these planks like so. You can get them in all sorts of different shapes, like I had in this little variety pack. This variety pack has these already cut up, you know, for little boards, like the other side where it's all boarded up. And then it's got chunks, all sorts of things like that. Or you can buy these longer planks, or you can get these nice flat ones like so, which are really nice. Like I said, all this stuff is used for like model airplanes. But I'm gonna make a door. And so I've already started. I was trying to work it out, you know, off camera. But basically what I've done is and just matched that up, and it's almost 1-to-1. So it fits actually right inside there nicely. And then I've made just a couple blocks where those hinges will be. So it's just like somebody put in some 2x4s like this. And then as I was looking at it a little bit longer, I'll turn this to the camera a bit. I thought it'd be a really cool idea is to go and find some chain, and I'll cut a hole in here and then bust a hole through this window, and we'll do like a chain and like a padlock. I think that would look really nice. So it's definitely that abandoned house look. But I'll end up gluing this in shut, and then probably we'll just go with boarding up these windows. I like to keep some peekaboo stuff going on. So all these random chunks and just kind of like, just so someone couldn't break in is what you want to do. So you just got whatever 2x4s, you know, someone brought along with them, just to board that up to keep from trespassers. So with that, let's get going with more boarding up. I'm gonna bring the stool around and just sit down occasionally, but I think I'm just gonna start with gluing in this door first. Glue, glue, glue. Everywhere glue. And it's running down that board. I was cleaning up a little bit as it's setting. That way it's not a big drip. I'll just give a little extra bit there. Like, I don't mind if it's rough, because really, you know, that's gonna add to the aging of this. There, so that's set. So we got a door in there. And I think we can start basically boarding this up. I'll cut a hole in here, this with a Dremel, rotary tool, and I'll get to that later while we do all their Dremeling. We'll get to that. But I think I'm just gonna start boarding this guy up. So I wanna take pieces that just basically cover those windows. I wanna leave a little bit of peekaboo through here in case I wanna do, you know, and I know I'm gonna do a lighting effect in this, so I do want some lights to come through. So yeah, I'll start with that. Just start adding on. All right, so this is sealed itself off. There it goes. That old trick. Start at the bottom, a little bit drippy. This one. Pew. Pew. Just a little bit of a drip there. Ooh. All right. I think I want to use some of the scrap bit here too. I want to use that for later, but I like this, a bit of variety in some of these. Just like an old wood pile. That's cool, that's fun. Stand back a bit, see what we have. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty cool. I think I'll add a little bit more onto that one, and then I'll leave these upper ones for now. Yeah, and we'll spin it around. Here's this bit. Something different. Different angle. Will that work? No, we don't want that little one. That's a good start. All right, new day, new details. Okay, so what I've done now is I've taken the dollhouse and I've laid it on the table like this. That way I can actually get a better look at what I'm doing. I'm working on the actual door panels. We're gonna make it look like it's boarded up, that it's abandoned. So I'd still have these little bits of balsa left over, just these little strips. So what I wanna do is I wanna make it kind of interesting looking too. So I've done a cross sort of panel, cross boards, and I wanna make them look like X's too. So it looks kind of like, you know, a little bit more, I don't know, a little more evil, I guess. So like 3 X's and then a bunch of other X's. So it's all crossed, like, you know, sort of the stay away look to it, which I think, you know, adds a little bit of character to this as well. So I have these bits of balsa that are left over. And then I'm just gonna snap them off when I need them. I'm not really gonna do too much crazy cutting. I like the ends of these being a little bit jagged. And then I'm just gonna take the super glue again, and not actually glue my fingers together this time. So I'm gonna lay this in here like so, glue, glue, and just lay it on, bang. So I'm liking this X. We'll go up here as well. Maybe, let's see where it fits better. I like it down here. So that's a nice one below. So maybe it'll touch that, we'll see. Yep. And it's kind of just drop it in, and I'm liking that look. I'm liking the X's, boom, boom. I have smaller pieces too. Let's see if they'll fit somewhere. What's a nice area for it? Oh wait. There's a couple extra pieces. So this is that, you know, a better view of that boarded up door now. And what we'll do is we'll get in here and We'll Dremel out, we'll rotary tool a hole probably here. Yeah, we can make it look like it's chained up. So let's do that. Let's do another bit up there. That looks cool. I might just break that end a bit. Like so. By the time I get around to it, that super glue will go off. I'm just using the Loctite glue here. You can use any super glue. And we're getting closer to actually painting this thing too. I'm just adding these type of details first. Then we'll mask everything off, and then we'll start actually painting this thing. And then I'll get also a good look at it. Is like, ooh, we could add a few things here and there. So where's a good spot? We need another good X in here. Maybe down there. That's a good spot. Like so. Let's try this. Yeah, that door is not going to open. More bits of balsa. Yeah, looking nice and abandoned now. Looks like stay away. Another bit here. I'll just break this off. Ooh, almost glued my finger again. I use these little bits as well. Bang, bang. From that little pack, I have these smaller squares, and I'll just take and cut some more, miniature 2x4s. Just off camera there for it. Another series of X's. Like so. Yeah, it's looking very stay away. That's what we want. Boarded up. Trying to keep whatever in. Or whatever out, people out of it. Abandoned. Sharp angles. Usually when we're sculpting like demon masks and things like that, or werewolves, we try to use the hard angles, 45 degrees, so kind of the stay away or evil. So there's a lot of nice sharp sort of jutting angles for this, which I think looks pretty cool. I think what we can do now, I'm gonna just, while I have it like this, I'm gonna take the Dremel tool and just buzz a couple little holes in it, and we'll go from there. Safety first. I think this is still plugged in. Yep. So just a little Dremel rotary tool. I can clean up little things too, like any glue that sort of spilled over, I can kind of touch it up. Into that plastic window. There we go. So I'll probably use this Dremel tool again. It's up here, but the end of it, sort of just a spiral bit here that it's good for kind of just deburring things, but you can kind of get through this balsa pretty well. There's other little cutting tools you can use. You can use that, just a drill bit, and then use one of these to kind of get around and open up the hole a bit. I'll probably sand that away next, and then yeah, we'll move on. So the next part, just before we go into paint, I want to tape off the windows here. So I'm just going to take some of this masking tape, the simple painter's masking tape, and I want to do the best I can to sort of keep the spray paint from getting in onto these windows. So I'm going to do this, like so. I'm just going to take some of this frog tape. I'll probably just coat cover the middle part of this right now. And then we'll go around and cut around the edges. Just to keep, from when I spray paint this, when I give it a base coat, I don't get onto the windows. Because I'd still want to use those windows. They're pretty cool. So I want to use some of these. Some of them are going to get knocked out anyway, and that's all right. But let's just, for the most part, let's just try to cover everything that we can. And then next week, we'll actually be painting. We'll base everything out, and then we'll take a look at it as we go, and we may actually start doing some finish work, some texture, perhaps. I like to put on some crackle finish in areas so it actually has that wear and tear look to it. So that's looking pretty good. I'm making sure I get all the way up into the edges as I can. I'll probably do a window aging in here as well, but for now, just play it safe, cover everything. That's pretty good. I'm gonna actually cover this part of it for now, just in that window. See if I can just sort of gently mask this off. Some people, you know, put these boards up sort of after the effect, after you've painted everything, and then add these little boards on. I didn't do it that way. That's okay. Doesn't matter. So I'll take a scalpel. You can use an X-Acto knife if that's what you have, or even razor blade. And just do the best you can to peel that back and cut all the way through. Like so. Like that. I'm going to cut right along that edge there, all the way through. And then lift this up. Razoring it. Oh, what did I do that for? I'm an idiot. Anyway, I'll use that shape because that's going to fit.
haha, I made a mistake, and then I fixed it. How funny is that, that piece that I made a mistake on fits? That was dopey. Come on, cut. That'll be good enough for now. I'm gonna turn this over to any other side that might have panes of glass that I don't want to get paint on it. Turn it over. This is a big thing. I'll lock the locks. This top window's up here. Oop. Use this frog tape. Chances are I'll knock these windows out before the end, but just in case. Taping up the windows, taping up the edges. How fun. Just putting the hard edge there. Just let it stick. Try to keep the spray paint from leaking underneath. So basically that wraps up what we needed to do. So I added the balsa bits on it. So some of the broken out windows and that sort of thing, all boarded up, this new door, and some of the little banister bits and railings. So that's kind of additional to the big build. We've taped up everything, all the panes that I want to save for later. Like I said, I may break out a few of those. High chance as I'm going to do that, but I just want to save them just in case. So I taped off all the areas that I think that I want to save and not get paint all over. So in our next video, we'll actually start painting this. We'll get right into it. We'll do an actual primer on this, and then I think it's just go ahead and just start, because that's the fun bit of it too. So I want to do some crackle paint finish on some of it to look like some of the paint is actually flecking off. And then we'll do some cool washes and then see how it actually turns out, and then start painting all the top of this. And then look at doing some flocking, so making it look mossy and all that sort of thing. So we're gonna keep building the texture next. So look for us next time.